occasions Armagh have been here, the period after time has been the least profitable for them, and they're on top of the moment. They should be actually stretching that lead.
Instead, they're watching Seamus Moynihan carry it down. Still going forward, indestructible. Tomás O'Shea, inside, beautifully. Johnny Crowley coming to raid. Having to more or less do it on his own. Back to Mike Frank Russell. Kerry needing another score, and Mike Frank Russell, ever the danger, provides the point. It's his third of the game. He was man of the match in the drawn encounter. And now just that Oisin McConville goal between the teams. And there is another substitution being made. As you can see, coming in there is Tommy Griffin from Dingle. And the player going off is Tom O'Sullivan, the left half back. So we've had changes in the forward line, we've had changes in the backs. Mike Frank Russell, by the way, the scorer of that last point, he's got 3 points, as I said, from 3 shots. Excellent return. Meanwhile, Kieran Hughes swallowed up here by Noel Kennelly, and they're not letting him up, so the referee says that's going to be a free kick to Armagh. McGeady gives the advice, Hughes kicks towards Oisin McConville. Seamus Moynihan is fouled by McConville. He was going down to pick that ball up, the boot came in then. Armagh fans booing, but they can't have too many arguments with that decision by the referee. Here's Donald Daly. Good support play. Fitzmaurice getting it down towards Mike Frank Russell. Enda McNulty is alongside him, and McNulty wins this one. His brother Justin, 2 years older, expecting some support to be there. John McEntee. Well, he really kicked that one into space. And if Armagh now start to lose their shape, they could allow Kerry right back into this game in an even more meaningful way. Kerry with another free kick. Darrow Kennedy was fouled. Down towards Noel Kennelly. Into space. It was a useful opportunity, and the man coming through there was the substitute Tommy Griffin. And that has been touched on its way out, so it's gone for the game's first 45. We had a situation there where Paudie's team were under a lot of pressure, but Armagh were not taking those chances. A couple of frees missed. Another one from play there by O'Hagan some time ago. Gradually, bit by bit, the Kingdom are forcing their way back in here. They may not be playing all that well. Darrow Kennedy has kicked it well to the right. Well, he missed some frees as well in the drawn match. That was explained sometime later. Even with Maurice Fitz on the field there, they still opted to give Darrow Kennedy the kick. And I think Darrow Kennedy was injured in the very early stages of the match here 2 weeks ago. That might have explained his somewhat below form free kicking.
Actually, one of the things I think that Armagh have to avoid falling into the trap of now is taking too many men back the field. They have got to try and press home their advantage now, in particular that they're winning a lot of ball around the middle of the field. In the Ulster game against Derry this year and against Fermanagh, they tended to, when they had a lead, to bring too many players back and leave their full forward line, and in particular, short of support players. So they mustn't fall into that trap.
That Armagh half-back line has been very impressive this season. And these ladies have made the long trip on a Saturday to Dublin to cheer on their team. McGeeney's okay. You remember years ago in the 70s when Kerry used to come here year after year with P. Shea involved at right half-back. Maybe the crowds at that stage were down to about 20,000. Today we're up around 50,000. Fantastic change. Benny Tierney to kick this one. McGrain was rising up for it, was distant away from him by Darragh O'Shea. Wants it back. O'Hagan, playing it in behind the support player. Kerry, come forward. Darragh O'Kennedy lobbed in there towards Mike Frank Russell. What a great catch that time by Justin McNulty. Great skill. Good positioning by the number 4. Armagh take it forward in measured fashion. Up towards Oisin McConville. Marsden's up there as well. Still they come through, still there's danger. Armagh needing a score here. And McKeever just running out of space. Seamus Moynihan back there. Linking up with Donal Daly. Likes to come back and help out whenever there's a hint of danger. Griffin getting that ball away. Fitzmaurice fisting it outside. Here's Mike Hassett. A goal between the teams. Into Maurice Fitzgerald. Great buzz of expectation. Darrow Kinnader once again. Great defending, and what a block by Kieran McGeaney. We've seen a wonderful shoulder from him in the first half. That was terrific. Just as Darrow Kinnader was winding up to kick it over the bar. And in the follow-up, it's badly missed by Fitzmaurice from Finuge. Eamon Fitzmaurice, former minor number 21 star. McGeaney, however, from the Fianna, the team captain. What a block this is. Darrow Kinnader about to kick a point. Bang! Great skill.
Indeed, Jaron, it just shows that Seamus Moynihan has an exclusive rights to that particular skill. That was wonderful.
I mean, we've had this argument over the last number of years that there's no effective tackle. This is what happened here just a little while ago. That's a nice bit of skill also by Justin McNulty. But McGeaney showed us just moments ago there is a tackle. That's how to tackle. Get that ball down, block it. Goes over the head of John McEntee, but he was pushing or dragging, and it's going to be a free for Kerry. O'Shea about to take it. Like Frank Russell had made an inviting run towards him. It's fumbled in there, it's missed, and Maurice Fitzgerald's inside there, thick of the action, trying to get the ball out. McGeaney's alongside him, Crowley's there as well. They get it back out towards Darrow Kinnader, and in the end, they put it wide under the sheer force of pressure from the entire Armagh backline. It's one of those days when the backs deserve collective men of the match.
Yes, that's a fantastic piece of collective pressure from the Armagh backs, and that's the second occasion in the last couple of minutes that Kerry have shot wides under considerable pressure, and the Armagh defence are certainly in a one-to-one situation on top of their respective opponents at the moment.
Tierney. Again he drops it into the centre, and again Armagh bunch that little area, but this time they can't take it down. Instead it's a determined Darrow O'Shea doing the little solo, playing it ahead here to Johnny Crowley. Player with great skill, good vision as well. Into the centre, Fitzmaurice comes forward, he's missed one earlier on. This time he gets it into Darrow Kinnader. Again there's a little block on that one, and it's gone for another 45. But what a display of defensive skills. A full range being demonstrated by the Armagh six backs.
And again, that time I think it was John McEntee getting back. It's just, it emphasises the work rate of the Armagh team throughout the field. A fabulous block again, putting the pressure on Darrow Kinnader.
So 17 minutes into the second half, still a long way to go.
And only 3 scores during the half so far.
Maurice Fitzgerald has come out to kick this 45. He has this toe injury we know all about. I asked him about it beforehand. He said he was okay. Let's see. Oh, he's dropped it right in. There's a goal chance. And again, the backs combine well. The 45 didn't quite have the range, but they came very close in the follow-up there as it dropped dangerously in front of Benny Tierney to getting their first goal of the day. And Noel Kennelly, I think, was the one who was quite close, or perhaps it was Liam Hassett. A real let-off for Armagh. Kerry now winning the issue at midfield. Darrow Kinnader. Darrow O'Shea wants to take this one quickly to the advancing Eamon Fitzmaurice. Time and again he's been pushing forward in the second half. O'Shea playing it across here towards Tommy Griffin. Inside towards Johnny Crowley, trying to turn away from the defender. Still on the ground in there, not being allowed anything. And in the end, the referee has blown his whistle and given the free out to Armagh.
And indeed, space is at a premium there in front of the Armagh goals at the moment. It's awful overcrowding there, both by the Kerry forwards, and the Armagh players are managing to get back there in great numbers.
The match is being choked, in fact, just in front of that 20-metre line. So the free here to be taken by Benny Tierney from Mullabourne, playing today in his 28th championship match. He's a teacher in Newry. Paul McGrain couldn't hold on to it. Instead, Kerry get themselves a free kick, and the referee was thinking about a 13-metre penalty, in the sense of giving the team 13 metres shot nearer the goal. Now Maurice Fitzgerald, dragged way out into the corner. Jerry trying to get in a challenge. Justin McNulty going low. Johnny Crowley's there as well for Kerry, but they get that ball away out as far as Tony McEntee, linking up with his goalkeeper. This time it's the pressure of the Kerry forwards that force him into the, well, somewhat something of a passing error, because Kieran Hughes has to battle manfully just to try and get it away from there, and in the end the referee says you held on too long and it's a free into Kerry.
There's a kind of a reversal of roles here, Ger, actually, whereas it has been the Armagh players that have been putting pressure on the ball player up to now. Now the Kerry forwards are doing it for the first time in the match.
Now it's hotting up, as you can see. Kerry's last score was in the 43rd minute. Armagh's last in the 41st minute. Once again it's going to be Maurice Fitzgerald who will kick this as Kieran Hughes goes back of the goal area. Opting to kick it from the ground. Cathal O'Rourke is the nearest man to him. Referee telling him to get back 13 metres. There's the angle that confronts him. Hill 16, a sea of orange. That's curled delightfully, beautiful kick. Maurice Fitzgerald put it over the bar, and Maurice Fitzgerald has got his first point. Kerry fans will feel they're right back in this match. Now just 2 points adrift. 14 minutes remaining. Look at the referee here right in the middle of all of this as the build-up to this incident was developing. And Kieran Hughes was the player who seemed to be dragging him, and Cathal O'Rourke was there alongside Liam Hassett. Alan O'Neill has just come into the Armagh team in place of Barry O'Hagan. He came in 2 weeks ago as well, and he played really well. Big tall fellow. They needed freshening up. That's fisted back by Darragh O'Shea. Here comes Kieran Hughes. But again Armagh forced backwards. Diarmuid Marsden, the one who was on the ground there. Oisin McConville going back goal side, where he's being marked by Eamon Fitzmaurice. And the fresh man in, Alan O'Neill, has gone straight into full forward.
And I say him coming in actually is a response to the fact that Armagh are not winning a lot of ball outfield, nor in their forward line at the moment, and they need some ball winner in there.
Once again, Dan Turley is in to attend to an injured player. This time, as I say, it's Diarmuid Marsden. He's back with the action once again. There's the substitute we mentioned a little while ago. Cathal O'Rourke to kick this. A huge one in towards Alan O'Neill. Struggling to win it, however. That's great possession, taken away there by Darragh O'Shea. Again, looking up to try and pick out a player. It's the other Darragh O'Kinade. Support outside him there from Donald Daly. Daly coming forward. McGrain putting in the telling challenge. Here's Liam Hassett. Getting by Tony McEntee. It comes out here well. Once again, it's Fitzmaurice who's gone forward, and Fitzmaurice kicks and puts it over the bar. He was anxious to get among the scores today. That's about his fourth kick at the target. He's finally got a point, and all of a sudden now, there's very little between these teams. Here was Fitzmaurice, holding it up well, good purpose, good drive, great point. Armagh now lead by just a point. 12 minutes still to play in this Bank of Ireland replayed All-Ireland football semi-final. Place in the final towards the end of September against Galway at stake. Nicely delivered up there towards Oisin McConville. And that's a very good response. His first point of the second half, but he's now kicked a goal and 5. And Armagh fans realise if he can get the ball into Oisin McConville, he's in a very rich vein of form, playing really well today. And he has the ability to take those scores. Almost seems to be saying to the other players, give it into me.
That's a wonderful score altogether. And again, when you consider that he's been marked at the moment by Seamus Moynihan.
6 scores for him so far, 6 shots on the target as well. Noel Kennelly not functioning all that terribly well at left half forward. But then at times Kerry struggled to get beyond the Armagh half back line. Neat pick up by Dara O'Kinneida. 2 men inside waiting for it. Maurice Fitzgerald breaks it down, but Armagh anticipate once again, and they get that ball away to Kieran Hughes. Just in beyond Paddy McKeever. Griffin playing that ball down, but it's snapped up by Justin McNulty. Kieran McGeeney. Great ball. But good anticipation by Tomal Sochet just to keep it away from John McEntee, as a huge gap had opened up between the Kerry full back line and the Kerry goal. Strong challenges. Kerry get the free kick. Oisin McConville back doing his piece of defending.
Actually, at the moment, there isn't a single player inside the Kerry half of the field. Everybody is back in the Armagh half.
Armagh's reaction to Kerry's onslaught here in the second half has to be very, very defensive. McGeeney trying to exploit the gaps. This is an opportunity. Diarmuid Marsden's there. 2 against 2. Going for the score himself, but he's dropped it short. An easy one for Declan O'Keefe. Dara O'Kinneida back around right half back. He's playing everywhere. Beyond Kennelly, and not a good ball in any case. There was simply no way the man from Listowel could have taken that pass. Cathal O'Rourke giving the instructions, going and taking it short. Again, they belted up a hit and hope one. At this stage, you'd have to say Armagh are just clinging on to their lead. And if Kerry can draw level in the next couple of minutes, then it's going to make for a very fascinating last 6 or 7 minutes of this game. Here's Maurice Fitzgerald. Have they now weathered the storm, as it were? Great ball inside. Mike Frank Russell trying to turn. And he's put it in the back of the net. The master has got a goal and 3 points. Kerry lead. 27 minutes into the second half. Once he got that ball inside, Mike Frank Russell put it well away into the corner. There was little Tierney could do, and Kerry have a 1-point lead. Now Armagh are going to have to come out of their defensive shell. McCarthy lets this one drop back harmlessly over the end line, and again wasted possession.
But we must take our hat off to Maurice Fitzgerald, his vision and the way he was able to spot Michael Frank loose in front of the goals.
This is it again. Look at this for a precise pass, and when you talk about precision, how about this for great control by a young man. Here he comes once again. The backs were all over the place at this stage. They must be very weary. Now, will the Armagh heads drop as a response to that goal? 50,051 people, I gather, the attendance this afternoon here. Huge attendance for a Saturday match. Armagh trying to get possession. Kieran McGeeney trying to drive them forward. They trailed also, of course, at about the same stage 2 weeks ago. They've got themselves a free. And it's a free from where the ball lands for a late challenge. means the referee, having seen one of the Kerry players dragging an Armagh man's shirt, has placed the ball just inside the 45-metre line.
I think he's calling it actually against Seamus Moynihan, who seemed to be holding on to Paddy McGeever there.
Oisin McConville, scorer of a goal and 5 points. Once again, lots of jeering and booing. And he put it beautifully over the bar. He levels the match. 5 times the teams have been level. 6 minutes are left. It could yet go to extra time. Here's Tomás O'Shea. Seamus Moynihan. Now, Noel Kennelly. Moynihan trying to go forward. Darragh O'Shea. Now what will Kerry's response be? Again they have Eamon Fitzmaurice heading down in the direction of the Armagh goal. He's advancing time and again, and this ball has gone wide. The last kick was by Maurice Fitzgerald. Well, interesting that Cathal O'Rourke was going off a little while ago, about to be substituted, as you can see, by Stephen MacDonald, a player who made a big impression in the Ulster Championship. But the change has now been made, and he's a very useful forward. Looked a bit nervous in the opening game, but now, with the teams level, there's every incentive. 5 minutes are left. Kerry get it back. Tomás O'Shea. Armagh a little fortunate not to concede a free kick there, as Kieran Hughes seemed to foul Tomás O'Shea as the ball was played away. Fisted on there by the fresh man in Stephen MacDonald. Seamus Moynihan getting it out as far as Donald Daly. Two sides who must be very, very weary. That's Reid. He wins the duel over there. He's also fouled, and it's a free to Armagh. Every possession important here now, every free kick. Huge pressure on players all over the field. MacDonald is calling for it. Never reaches him, but it's a sideline ball on the far side, just as Darragh O'Shea was ready to take it downfield. It's a very dramatic semi-final once again. Brian McAlinden, the former goalkeeper. Plenty of advice coming in from the mentors. Oisin McConville ready to kick this one in. Several runs being made close to him. Goes short in the end. Paddy McGeever trying to make some inroads on the Kerry defence, but they stand firm here. Kerry looking to get back into another All-Ireland final and a match-up with Galway. Still time to go. 3 minutes. Noel Kennelly. Kieran Hughes trying to block his path to goal. Darragh Kinneida, they slow it down, look to get a decent shot in, and that is exactly what Darragh Kinneida has done. His third point. Delighted Kerry fans. He slowed it down beautifully and then had the confidence to kick it. Looked around, you could see his first thought perhaps a pass, but the wiser action taken to kick it over the bar. Now it's up to Armagh. O'Neill dropping it in there, and the referee watching the play, keeping a very close eye on things, and it's going to be Armagh possession. Stephen MacDonald leaving it there for Oisin McConville.
What you have to admire there about Kerry was the way they varied their style. They played a possession style, get more or less an Armagh style game to get that last point.
An intriguing match. McConville kicking from a very tight angle. Nicely held in there by the man who's always back supporting, Darragh O'Shea. A real powerhouse and a real tour of the force in a way this afternoon. He works tirelessly, as they say. He's got a terrific engine. showing tremendous energy up and down the field. So Kerry leading by the minimum. About 2 minutes left. Will there be another score? Armagh working hard to get it back. John McEntee laying it across here. His brother Tony going forward, chased by Donald Daly. Still Tony McEntee laying it off to Diarmuid Marsden. Armagh have to get a decent shot in. Time running away, a minute to go. Kieran McGeeney, nice ball across there towards the substitute Stephen McDonnell, almost in on goal. Was it touched on the ground? It was, and it's a free about 25 metres out. The referee, it's not going to count. It went over the bar by Stephen McDonnell, but it's not going to count. The players didn't hear the referee, who had whistled for a free just moments before that. So the ball touched on the ground, and now the pressure is all on Oisin McConville.
Yeah, I think it was a correct decision there. It was Eamon Fitzmaurice actually who flicked it away, and the referee had called the free before the ball was kicked over.
McConville has put it over the bar. He hasn't missed any this afternoon. He's tied it up in the very last minute of the game. He scored a goal and 7 points for his team. And it's 111 to 111. The teams are level now for the 6th time. Are we heading for a half an hour of extra time, or will there be a winner? Here comes John McEntee. A chance. It's dropping short. O'Keefe has it, and Declan O'Keefe plays it out here to the wings. Tomás O'Shea has blown. The referee only allowed about 5 seconds of injury time, and the teams are going to have another chance in extra time here at Croke Park. 15 minutes each way to decide who plays Galway in this year's All-Ireland football final. What a battle they had down there. It might have been a shame to see either team lose it in the last minute or so, but there you go, they've got an opportunity, and Frank Russell got that wonderful goal after 27 minutes of the second half. And so the final score, as it were, at the end of 70 minutes of dramatic football: Armagh 111, Kerry 111. There's still more to go.
And we're not finished with it yet. They're a little bit more relieved at the end of that, though. Obviously not out of the woods yet, but Colin will work a little bit like the drawn game the first day. Either side could have won it or lost it in the end.
Yes, and I think Kerry showed great heart, because they had a period of dominance in the middle of that second half and had wide after wide after wide. And normally in such circumstances, players' heads drop a bit, you know. But instead of that, they fought on. We knew Armagh had great heart with the way they came back, but Kerry have demonstrated. It may not have been the greatest second half in terms of quality, but the effort and tension and all-round fitness levels is incredible, and it was thoroughly riveting stuff. I think everybody here has enjoyed this game immensely. I wouldn't like nearly to call a winner at this stage, but I think Kerry have the better footballers, but they just have that bit of problem today converting the chances into scores.
They did, Pat, though, in the second half. They did need that goal because they were trailing this game all the way through.
I suppose if you look at the game over 70 minutes in terms of possession, you would say probably Kerry had dominated in terms of possession and had the more chances and should have created them. Armagh fell into the cardinal sin of a Gaelic football team trying to defend the lead. It cannot be done. They sat back, they funneled 8 players back behind the ball, left Kerry come at them. Kerry's attack was slow and ponderous and played into their hands at times. But I mean, Armagh scored 1 score from play in the second half, 2 from frees. So I mean, defence doesn't work in Gaelic. If you're on top in Gaelic, you drive home your advantage. But look at the goal. The goal I highlighted in the first half, that you needed a 2-man Kerry full foul line and you needed the ball going in fast. Now what you had here is a beautiful vision, beautiful distribution by Maurice Fitzgerald. Michael Frank isolated inside. Now he had a lot of work to do, because if you see him, there was the goalie and 2 defenders, shimmied to his left and took a beautiful shot right into the corner, unstoppable. But that's the sort of play Kerry should have been working, but they didn't. All too often it was carried, it was shot past. Armagh kept funneling back. Kerry kicks got blocked down, or harmless kicks into Beniti in his hand. That's the sort of play Kerry need to break down that Armagh defence, and that's the sort of play Kerry need if they're going to win this extra time. But like Colm said, great character by that Kerry team. It's something that's often thrown against them, but they showed it there.
One man who had a lot of possession and didn't use it very well at times was Darragh Kinnaird to the full forward column, but yet we thought he got the point that was going to win it for Kerry.
Yes, I thought that Kerry would have taken off Darragh Kinnaird because he was guilty of some dreadful shooting and kicked a wild ball over the line and seemed to be a little bit lackadaisical, and yet, you know, he had to have the courage of his convictions when he got this chance, and it wasn't an easy one. Here he is, it looks as if he's wanting to give it to somebody and then decides, well, to hell, I'm going to have a go myself, and kicked a brilliant point. And again, it showed a bit of character, because the easy thing for any player when you're playing badly is just shovel the ball off to somebody else and let them take on the responsibility. But that instance there again showed Armagh invited Kerry to come at them, and when you do that, if you have fellas who can kick points from long range, it's going to backfire. They did exactly the same against Derry in the Ulster final. But again, fair credit to Armagh, when they found themselves in a sticky situation, they were able to up their game and come back. And Oisin McConville has been the only real threat up front now for the whole second half. Kerry backline have been totally dominant, apart from McConville. Moynihan has given another absolute exhibition of football, and McConville has kept Armagh in the game.
The one thing about this extra time now, Pat, is what I noticed in the last 5-10 minutes of that game, players were generally knackered all around the field. Now, they've taken a 10-minute break, but fitness now surely is the key factor, not football and what's left.
There's no doubt about it, but I mean, the fitness levels attained by, are achieved by inter-county teams now is at an all-time high. The fitness we saw outside there today has been absolutely superb. But you must remember now, for 70 minutes you have 5 substitutions. Now they're allowed bring on more subs. So I think the few little switches, an extra fresh leg or two in the subs, could make that little vital, because there's very little between the teams. It'll be a controversial refereeing decision or a very astute switch or substitution on the part of one of the management could turn this game.
Yeah. All right, gentlemen. Well, we've been looking forward to that extra time coming up in a few minutes. I'm sure a man who's also looking forward to what's left, perhaps, certainly if there's a Kerry win, there's Ger O'Keefe, former great Kerry player. He's down the sideline now with Jim Carney.
Ger O'Keefe, 23 years ago, they say the greatest game of football ever played, Dublin and Kerry. You captained Kerry that day. But Ger, you know, in some ways, this game has that sense of excitement and passion, hasn't it?
Oh yeah, it's a fantastic game. It mightn't be a great spectacle, but the passion shown by the two teams in the second half there, and the fighting there in the last 5 minutes when there's very little between the teams. You know, nobody prepared to give up. Everybody going for everything. You know, everybody doing things as if their life depending on it. It's fantastic for amateur sport to see guys going out here today and doing what they've done. It's been a marvellous occasion here in Croke Park today. And the next half an hour, well, I'd say will be even better.
Ger, as a Kerryman, do you feel that your team will be that a little bit more up maybe in the dressing room right now?
Well, I think that the fact that we came back in the second half from the dead at half time, it should give us that extra little bit of a lift, knowing that we can do it. This Kerry team seems to play poorly and then playing very well. It's very hard to get a balance in the team, whatever is the problem. And this is the great enigma about them, and that's why nobody can say they'll ever win a match. And you can't make them favourites for anything, because you really don't know what they're going to do. They can play brilliant or they can play poorly.
And equally now, nobody can say that Armagh threw it away the last day.
No, well, I always felt that Armagh would have the advantage going into this game, because they had never beaten Kerry before, and they would say, no, you know, we drew with them, we were unlucky to lose, we have nothing to fear about coming up the next day, irrespective of replays where Kerry have always had this tradition about winning them. But that doesn't make any difference in the modern game anymore.
Ger O'Keefe, great seeing you in Croke Park. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jim.
Well, Colin O'Rourke, perhaps Ger O'Keefe put his point on it there with the Kerry team, that we don't quite know what to make of them at times. They can be brilliant and they can be terrible at other times in the game.
Yes, but they played fairly consistent for the whole second half in terms of possession. It was generally the scoring which was causing the problems. Other days they had absolute brilliance and did notch up 1-3, 1-4 and then go to sleep for 15 minutes. Really, when the gun was put to their head there, everybody dug in and, you know, at least one ball, which was the big problem the last day. Like, it's an amazing thing in contrast from the last day. Armagh dominated possession-wise and couldn't score. Kerry had a lot of possession today and couldn't score. I think too what's going to happen here, I think the yellow cards, strangely enough, carry on to the extra time, but you will have 5 extra subs allowed. So it's a new game, but the yellow cards still carry on. That's my understanding from previous games. I'd say Kerry will be bringing back in the likes of McGarrett, because he's great legs.
Of course,
and he'd be the man now maybe for extra time.
And he went off early enough in the first half as well, so he should be fresh enough. Pat Spillane, Kerry are back, as we can see, ready for the fray for the second half, still waiting for Armagh. How do you feel now with a half an hour left in it? Can they do it?
I feel a lot more confident than I did at half time. I didn't think this Kerry team would fight. Playing badly, they were 5 points behind. Now they finished that game. I mean, they were the better team in that second half. They're coming out fresher. They looked fitter at the end and they look sharper. There's a great belief there. There's a great character as we see in this team. And with Morris there up front as leadership, he's posing a lot of threat. And I'd still sneakily go for Kerry, but it's because the green and gold blood is there.
All right, with a quick shot there of Oisin McConville, contributed a goal and 7 points to this match so far. Presumably he'll have a few more to contribute. Let's go back again to our commentary team. And Ger Canning.
Yes, we're looking forward to the next half an hour. 2 15-minute halves, as you know, in extra time on this great day of sport. Don't forget the Soccer International World Cup qualifier coming up immediately, more or less immediately after this, around about 7 o'clock tonight. That's Ireland against Holland, and I hope you can join me at Shelbourne Park at 5 to 10 tonight. A little later than usual for the final of the Greyhound Derby. Lots of good sport then to look forward to, and the whole of this final phase, as it were, as well. One question, Martin Carney, we were noting during that second half the number of times Eamon Fitzmaurice was coming forward. He had 4 shots at the target. Why was he allowed to do that, I wonder?
Well, I think it's an indication of Armagh's defensive mode and the way they kept players coming back behind the ball. And I mean, from my point of view, I think had Eamon a little bit more composure on 2 of the earlier occasions, he certainly could have kicked Kerry into a match-winning situation. Another couple of things actually maybe to note in this half. It's important that the team who's going to win gets the early scores. I often think in extra time that if you can get early scores, build up a little bit of confidence, sow seeds of doubts in the opposition, then you can go on and win the game.
The referee, I think, had forgotten to toss at the start of the extra time period. The players, I think, reminded him, and when he came to do the toss, the player said, well, what the heck, let's stay as we are. So it's going to be Kerry who will play from left to right. So the start of the first 15 minutes of extra time. 111 to 111. Kieran McGeeney is dragged around by Liam Hassett. First free of this first half of extra time. McGeeney, a huge one down towards Tony McEntee. Dishing it off there towards the man who's really in form, Oisin McConville. And it comes down off the post. And Darragh O'Shea is back there to help his defence. Michael McCarthy trying to get the ball away. Good pass as far as Liam Hassett. But Armagh having the first scoring chance in extra time. Hassett. Johnny Crowley trying to turn away there from the attentions of Justin McNulty. Second time of asking. And it just gets inside the left-hand post and it goes over the bar. It's just Johnny Crowley's first point in the match, but it gives Kerry the lead in extra time. Well, that's a terrific start. They could have fallen a point behind with following that shot by Oisin McConville. Instead, they lead 112 to 111. Benny Tierney again opting to kick it right down the centre, where the dominant player has been Darragh O'Shea. Coming forward again, and this one is kicked in here. It's gone wide. The boot of Mike Hassett, the one who hit that shot in. And just as Eamon Fitzmaurice is coming forward, we've noticed Mike Hassett in this game has been coming forward into the Armagh half time and again. This is the Johnny Crowley point, the first in extra time. Armagh fans will wonder, did their team retreat far too much during the second 35 minutes? Kerry making a very good start. Darragh O'Shea picking out Dara O'Kineda. Again with the outside of the boot, he drops it in there dangerously. Mike Frank Russell playing it back well. Liam Hassett back to Donald Daly, usually scores in championship matches, and this one is nicely over the bar. Donald Daly gets his first point of the day. It's his 7th ever point in championship football, but it now means that Kerry have a 2-point lead. There was speculation as to who'd make the better start. Now we know it's the Munster champions.
And indeed, the place they're starting to get in top on is actually in the middle of the field, where Darragh O'Shea and Donald Daly have started the extra time period very effectively.
It's 113 to 111. And I've noticed that Tony McEntee has been taken off, and John Donnellan has come into the Armagh team. Two sides showing wonderful fitness, but they must be very weary. Mike Hassett, Donald Daly inside for Maurice Fitzgerald, but Fitzgerald is forced out, 50 metres out. Liam Hassett, impossible one for John Crowley to take. Instead it is Enda McNulty. Here's his brother Justin. Now the fullback, Ger Reid, fumbled there by Paul McGrain. Darragh O'Shea outside towards Kennelly. Again the centre half back, Eamon Fitzmaurice, is up with the attack. Maurice Fitzgerald just overhitting this one, and Donald Daly couldn't contain it.
That's very careless football actually by Morris that time. A simple punch pass for what he should have given to Donald Daly.
Armagh with only one attack so far in these opening minutes. That's where the Oisin McConville shot came off the post. Enda McNulty fumbling a bit. McGeaney somehow keeping it in there, but Liam Hassett stealing forward. Now Darragh Kineda, this is dangerous. It's Mike Frank Russell, he's got another! 4 minutes into extra time. Mike Frank Russell gets his second goal of the match. That's 2 goals and 3 points in all now. Lovely combined play, great awareness, and what a deadly finish.
And again, it's all coming as a consequence of Kerry pressure on the Armagh players.
Armagh now being ripped apart, even in the first 5 minutes. Tomas O'Shea loses it this time. That's forward by Diarmuid Marsden. But Kerry composure at the back, again very evident. Eamon Fitzmaurice. Great ball inside, but lost by Maurice Fitzgerald. McGeaney. That's a good pass to Oisin McConville. The one forward, I think, who could really damage Kerry, but he's playing very deep just now. Not a bad ball inside for Stephen McDonnell. He holds it up there. McConville has made his way in. There he is, trying to dart his way through. Still McConville. Down he goes, he was dragged, and it's going to be a free from about 15 metres out. It means a chance of a first point in extra time. Ollie O'Shea must be absolutely thrilled with the start they have made. A goal and 2 points after just 6 minutes of extra time. Will this be Armagh's first point in the extra period? Relatively simple free. Put over with ease. Oisin McConville, the scorer of a goal and 8 points. But it's 2-13 to 1-12. Declan O'Keefe trying to target Donald Daly that time. And the referee says that kick is going downfield in favour of Armagh. Here's Stephen McDonnell. Marsden's making a good run inside. He goes for the shot himself and he puts it over the bar. Stephen McDonnell. So now 2 in a row for Armagh. And a goal between them. The fans will feel a bit happier here. Must have been absolutely devastated by the start the team made to the first 15 minutes of extra time. But it's 2-13 to 1-13.
That's a great response from Armagh actually. And again, the two-man full forward line of McDonnell and McConville at the moment are causing difficulties if the ball is going into them.
Armagh have shown great character and ability to come back in the past. And in the Ulster Championship this year, they've had very tight matches. Noel Kennelly dragged around back there, feeling the left side of his face. Darragh O'Shea will take the free kick. And there is a player injured across to the far side. The referee has stopped the play. think it's Dara O'Kineda. Looks like he's got cramp. Very early stages to be going down with cramp, and interestingly, the referee opting to stop the match.
Yes, of course, Ger, out there is so warm at the moment. It's been a very, very warm afternoon, and I'd say the fluid intake the players have taken early on is starting losing its value at the moment, and it's noticeable at the beginning of the second half. Darragh Kinnaja was loosening the calf muscles actually considerably before the throw-in.
Again, we have to remind you that it is essentially a new game, so 5 subs can come on here. He'll try and run this one off a little bit and get back into the action. He scored 3 points in the game so far, and that from a total of 6 shots. Darragh O'Shea going short this time, being fed that ball back by Mike Hassett. Again, Maurice Fitzgerald. Back there with him is Paddy McKeever. Armagh prepared to boot it out, and the referee says that's going to be a sideline ball to Armagh. But let's just see. Kerry are protesting.
Yes, from here I thought actually that it was a Kerry ball, but again the referee seems to be agreeing with the linesman and giving it to Armagh, which I think is wrong.
McGeaney. If this produces a score at the Armagh end, I think Kerry would be very, very vexed and annoyed. Instead, it's Kerry with that ball kicked in the direction of Johnny Crowley. Comes down here towards Liam Hassett. He's dragged down 13 metres out, dragged down by Andrew McCann. McCann is now the one who needs the attention, and it could be cramped once more. We could see quite a bit of this. Éadán McGarrett is being brought back into the match in favour of the cramp victim there, Dara O'Kineda. So back in for his second spell. I'm sure when he went off just before half-time, he felt that was the end of his involvement for this particular semi-final. Now, where will they opt to play him? Wasn't really successful as a full forward while he was on, so he may well be played somewhere in the half-forward line.
Well, I think at the moment actually as Maurice Fitzgerald is playing full forward, and I think as Colin said in his preview of the extra time, McGarrett will probably come into the half-forward line and give extra legs and a little bit more running power to the Kerry half-forwards.
This free will be taken by Noel Kennelly from the hand. He scored 1 point from play already. And again it's dropped short, and again Benny Tierney takes it, but it's almost blocked. It was blocked indeed, but went off a Kerry man, and it's a kick out to Armagh.
That was a very, very tired kick by Noel Kennelly actually, and it's probably an indication of the tiredness that's creeping in to the players at the moment.
We're in the 12th minute, as you can see, of the first portion of extra time, but there's a lot of football to be played yet here, and only a goal in it. Armagh have got the free kick. Kieran Hughes. That ran away from Stephen MacDonald. They try to feed it in towards Oisin McConville. Moynihan as ever back there. A very strong figure, Diarmuid Marsden. This time they carry it forward there through John Donaldson, former Louth player. Comes back, it's another great block, and it's touched on the ground. The danger averted, but only momentarily. That's a tired-looking Seamus Moynihan there. And the free kick by Armagh will be taken, of course, by Oisin McConville. This to put just 2 points between the teams. That's another. A goal and 9 points. What a contribution. What a performance.
And credit Armagh actually, they're nibbling away at the Kerry lead. The second half start that Kerry had against them could have deflated them and dispirited them, but they're nibbling away, and remember they're going to have the advantage of the wind in the second half.
Kerry had a lead, I think, of a goal and was it 2 points at one stage at the start of this extra time period. So running repairs this time to Diarmuid Marsden, who of course had a leg injury. kept him out of the Ulster final. Oisin McConville has scored 10 scores out of 11 shots. It's some performance. Just about 2 minutes of the first half left. Remember, you're watching extra time. That time it's Liam Hassett who has fouled. Here's Tomás O'Shea, transferring it to Mike Hassett. Donald Daly couldn't hold it. Johnny Crowley advancing, playing it back there towards Liam Hassett once again. Over the head of his brother Mike, also over the head of Aidan McGarrett, having to go back, working hard. Alan O'Neill back there challenging, and there too was Paddy McKeever. That's going to be a free in.
I think that was a very, very silly foul to give away, because there was two Armagh players confronting Aidan McGarrett there, who was going away from goals when he got the ball, and they should have simply just policed him out towards the sideline. They didn't have to get that free away.
Well, Darrow Kinnaid is off. He hasn't been taking the frees anyway. We saw Noel Kennelly miss a free, so now it's the turn of Maurice Fitzgerald. In the last minute of the first half of extra time. This to put a goal between the teams. Again, he's being booed and jeered. Looks composed. And he's put it wide. It wasn't an easy kick, but you just get the feeling that the injury that's kept him out is troubling him. He's not kicking as truly and as freely as he has been in the past.
No, that ball wasn't struck with any degree of confidence, or certainly with the confidence that you associate with Maurice Fitzgerald when he's placed kicking at top of his form.
Well, the referee only allowed 5 seconds of injury time at the end of the 70. Let's see what he'll do here. Kennelly striking this, and again it's gone short, and again it's taken by Benny Tierney. Armagh will feel they're in with a right good chance. They trail by just a couple of points. And there'll be another 15 minutes to play. Paul McGrain inside to Diarmuid Marsden. We haven't seen the best of him this afternoon. John Donaldson is the player who goes down. It's a free to Armagh. And this time the referee has already played 30 seconds of injury time. Mind you, there were stoppages for the attention for cramp and so on. And that is a push by Stephen MacDonald. Free to Kerry. Seamus Moynihan about to take it. Donald Daly making the run across, and you can really just look down now and see the players really, really tired. And they have another second half of extra time to go through for a place in